right, everybody, we have a cool guest in store for you today. We have Ryan Serhant, Serhant, who is the author of a brand new book called Big Money Energy, and he's also one of the stars on the TV show $1 Million Listing. So we're going to take a look at how to think about money the right way. We're going to take a look at how to show up big time, how to outcreate a pandemic, and how to use certain strategies that are always going to keep you ahead of the curve and ahead of everybody else so that you can go big time. So you guys are absolutely going to love this episode. Hey, what is up, everybody? Jeremy here. And as always, I'm bringing you guys some incredible people that are doing really big things. Today, our guest is one of the top real estate brokers on the planet, best-selling author, and star of the Bravo series, $1 Million Listing. Welcome to the Create Your Own Life show, Ryan Serhant.
How are you? Thanks for having me.
Absolutely, Ryan. I'm really stoked to get a chance to chat with you today because, I love talking to people doing things on such a big level. And the thing I just wanted to start with before we dive into everything is, how did $1 Million Listing, if at all, change your life?
It completely changed my life. I was a regular real estate agent in New York City prior to, and was just renting apartments and selling a few. And then I went to an open casting call for that show with a lot of other agents in New York City in Times Square, actually. And somehow they cast me. And I made it through that first season, and then the show aired. And it was a big megaphone for me, right? The phone didn't start ringing left and right, but it was a reason for me to pick up the phone and let people know, like, hey, this is what I do. That's me. And slowly but surely things steamroll. They take time. But it was there's publicity that I would never be able to afford.
And I guess it's interesting from that viewpoint. Like, has that changed your viewpoint on publicity, or getting it or getting out there, or how has that affected your viewpoint on getting seen and heard?
Three things that are really important to me. And in my new book, Big Money Energy, I talk about it a lot. Successful people know how to be seen, heard, and remembered, right? Mm-hmm. And for whatever that reason might be, it could be your appearance, it could be your knowledge, it could be the way you communicate. All three or something else. $1 Million Listing is PR to millions and millions and millions and millions of people in an entertaining vehicle that I could not reproduce on my own to that scale, right? Because it airs in almost every other country. That's huge. It's on TV. It's in the background. I read a book when I first got into the business called The Fall of Advertising and the Rise of PR. It's a really, really important book for me. And it really solidified the value of things like TV, like working with publicists, like talking to reporters, because people trust editorial. They trust PR more than they trust advertising, right?
Right.
Even if the editorial is advertising, they just happen to trust it more.
It's that know, like, and trust factor, I think. Right? People have to know you, they have to trust you, and they have to be able to really like you and get you before they can ever do business with you. And I think a lot of people just don't have that understanding, and that's why a lot of times they play a small game because they don't realize how big you have to look and appear.
Yep. Yeah, I would say, people in my line of work, because we're in sales, people hate being sold, but they love shopping with friends. So how can I find more and more friends every single day that I can work with?
Well, Ryan, we're talking about your new book, Big Money Energy, today, and one of the things that I wanted to kind of start with on that idea is, I guess, how do you think about money? And here's what I mean by that. My dad's super blue collar, didn't go to college. So to him, $100,000 was a lot of money. Yeah. And it wasn't until I started my own business and, doing a lot of different things that I look at that now as that's very little money. So I guess when you think of the idea of money, what does that look like for you?
Listen, I distinctly remember having to work from when I was 7. My parents had us work, in the yard, yard work, chores, we had little mini jobs. But it wasn't just clean up your room. They made us work and they would pay us, $1 an hour, stuff like that. As I got into high school, they forced us to have real jobs. I worked for a construction company. I got $8.50 an hour. Kind of at the top peak there, what I was getting paid in high school, and then a little bit more through college. But I was just kind of worked construction. And then I remember having those savings and going to New York City in 2006 I could have just stayed home. Like my parents have nice houses, could have stayed there. But I didn't. So I went to New York, and slowly ran out of savings and then didn't have any money. And I didn't want to go home because that to me would have felt like failure. So I made the choice just to figure it out. And I distinctly remember what it was like to be in New York City without money. And,
Wow.
again, there was always a net if I needed it, but I chose not to have it.
Hmm.
And so the value of the dollar is very important to me, right? The length of the dollar, what it can do for you, and the type of freedoms that it can buy you, right? The freedom of
Hmm.
choice, the freedom to breathe. But I do remember what it was like to be in New York City with very little money. And I promised myself that I would never, ever, 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 ever go back to that place ever again. And a big part of finding self-confidence, a big part of big money energy is understanding what you want
Hmm.
and creating a plan to go and get it.
Yeah.
Right. And really, really believing in the phrase, why not me? Like $100,000 for a very long time in my life seemed like a significant, significant amount of money, right?
Yeah.
Until it wasn't, because I saw other people who made more. So why not me? And I understand, like, I'm not going to go steal it. I have to work for it. But why not me? And what line of work can I get into where I can lead the life that I want to lead? And so money affords me the opportunities to do the things I want to do, like building the real estate business that I have in New York. Right? We
Hmm.
own and operate our own real estate firm in New York. It's not free. It costs money. We have payroll, overhead, and but it allows me to grow and allows me to scale. So it's a tool, right? It's a tool that's transferred between hands. That's really how I think about it.
And you actually wrote this book, during the pandemic, during when a lot of people were quarantining. And I guess I'm curious, like, why now? Why was this the right time to approach that?
Yeah. I wrote it during quarantine, in part because I had time all of a sudden. I didn't have to go apartment, right? It was illegal. And I didn't have to go to dinner events or all that stuff. Like, I was quarantined in New Hampshire.
It's not a bad place to be quarantined.
Yeah, except in the winter, dude, New Hampshire is like, yes, there's also nothing else to do. And it's not like
I'm in northern New Jersey. We got like 30 inches of snow in the last 7 days. So like
yeah,
I get it from that viewpoint.
yeah, yeah, for sure. Is it snowing there today?
It snowed this morning. We got another 7 inches this morning.
So that's why. Got it. Got it. My team now is well aware. Yeah. So I said I was talking to a lot of people
Hmm.
at that time, through Instagram Live, through Zooms, through everything, and so many people were scared and so many people were nervous, as they should have been. Right? It was a scary time in March and April of 2020.
Hmm.
Stock market sold off 10,000 points. People were losing their jobs left and right. Unemployment was in the millions and millions every single week. Right? It was a tough time, and people were connecting their self-worth to their income. And
Mm.
I remember what that was like. And as scared as I was going into quarantine, because every deal we had on the table died, right?
Hmm.
And it's not like people decided to go buy apartments, right? They left and decided to buy houses outside New
Right.
York. My market disappeared overnight. So really, really
Right. Because I know my parents just sold their house and they got almost double what it was worth, because of people like leaving the city.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Dude, it's crazy. The numbers are just bonkers. Yeah. Anyway, that's a whole different podcast. But I was talking to people and I realized, wait a minute, like I remember feeling this way because my first day in the real estate business was when Lehman Brothers filed for bankruptcy that kicked off the Great Recession. I
Mm.
remember not being successful. I remember not having self-confidence. I remember looking at the sidewalk as I was walking around, because I was nervous to make eye contact with people. And I knew that that wasn't the way to get ahead and to be productive. And I knew how I fixed that in 2009
Mhm.
and 2010. And so I started sharing the ideas that I had about how to create energy and how to unlock energy within you, even when times are absolutely terrible. And when you don't think you want to get out of bed and you don't think that success is for you, when you just feel like maybe, life isn't good enough, you have an energy that is in your stomach and
Mhm.
you can release it and you can control it. And if you can control that energy, you can control your life. And That's what big money energy is about. And I started helping people. And then at the same time, I was taking notes and writing things down. And then the book kind of came out of me in like 2 months. So
I guess from that,
that's why I wrote it then. And that's why it's exciting to have it out now in the beginning of 2021.
from that viewpoint, and like, how do you define big money energy? Like, what does that look like to you?
Big money energy is a unique set of qualities that every successful person has, right? We all know what it is. When that person walks in the room, they own the room. And you just look at that person and you say, wow, like, what does that person do? They might not even do anything. They just look like they own the room. Okay. And it is completely something that we can all have, right? Big
Mm-hmm.
money energy is about knowing what you want and going and getting it. It's about taking back control of your life by controlling your energy so that you can lead the biggest, most fullest life that you possibly want to against all odds.
One of the things that you discuss in the book, Ryan, which honestly for me was really impactful, because I think it's one of the most important things you can do is the idea of, like, doing an audit on your life, like,
Yeah.
Looking at the things that are bullshit, money waster, money and time wasters, and
Yes.
the I'm hot shit people out of your life. So I guess, like, what does that look like, and what does that process look like for you?
The most important thing that we have all day long is time.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, you have health. Yes, you have family. But what can you actually control? Okay. You can control your family, sort of, but they're their own people. But you can control your time, right? We're all given
Mm-hmm.
the same 24 hours. Now, my 24 hours might not be the same as you. Maybe you have, obligations and things that you got to do that I don't have to do. So you actually have less hours, but at the end of the day, we're all basically left with 1,000 minutes. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
1,000 minutes to do whatever you want to be productive. Maybe you have less, maybe you have more. Okay. But think about it as 1,000 minutes. And we follow what we call the 1,000-minute rule, where every day you wake up as the CEO of your own bank of time and you have those 1,000 minutes. So do not waste them. So if you're with somebody who has bullshit money energy, that person is going to become a time vampire, and they're going to start wasting your minutes. And if they waste
Mm-hmm.
10 of those minutes, you're not going to throw away $990 because someone stole $10 from you. Right?
And those type of people too, like, once you give them those 10 minutes, they want more minutes, man. Like,
Yeah.
they absolutely latch on.
So there's a lot of different things that you can do for those types of people that I go through in the book. But when it all comes down to it, it's about taking the high road, right? You take that
Mm-hmm.
high road, you give those people what they need to feel like they won, and then you're the one who laughs all the way to the bank.
You share some, like, pretty specific stories in the book, which I found very impactful. And I guess one of the ones that, was really surprising to me is you lost $72 million in a single day. Number one, like, how does that happen? Number two, how do you come back from something like that?
It was $72 million in deals. It
Deals,
wasn't
okay.
$72 million in cash. That would have been crazy and terrible. We had $72 million in deals that all died in one day. Monday, it was the day Trump had taken office, and he was fighting with China over the tariffs, if you remember, a couple years ago. And the stock market sold off just about 1,000 points, which now that doesn't sound so bad, right?
Mhm.
Pre-COVID, that was a lot. And people reacted. Everyone said at the same time, this is it. Stock market's over. Everything's falling apart. I just lost my down pay. Everything's done. People who buy and sell real estate in New York are nervous Nancy's. Like they lose their mind. They will negotiate the price of a banana, but they will be the greediest person ever on the other side. So it's tricky. So we lost all of those deals, but I knew that as long as I focused on future me, to focus on the future, that everything's going to be okay, right?
Mhm.
Because time heals all wounds. So one thing that I learned how to do to build up that kind of muscle memory for pain is to go into your calendar and write something down in 30 days. That sucks. So like if you lose those $72 million worth of deals today, go in your calendar 30 days out from today and make a note in your calendar, right? 8 a.m. How does it feel now that time has gone by about those $72 million in deals? You will eventually get to that day, and it's not going to feel as bad as it does today.
Hmm.
Do that with every deal that's lost. Do that with every bad thing that happens. And slowly but surely, you're going to teach your mind to understand that, oh, before I know it, I'm going to get to 30 days out and everything's going to be okay because things will have happened. Life goes on, new good things happen, and it's all okay. Uh, and so you're not going to experience that loss nearly as much. And so you're going to
Yeah.
build up that kind of defensive wall against it.
I think also like, kind of just putting that out there in the physical universe is a big deal as well. Cause I know for myself, like there'll be times when you get a day where you're overwhelmed, right? Like things aren't going so well.
Yeah.
And I'll actually make a list of all those things that are bugging me at that time. And just by getting rid of them, you actually feel a little bit better. And you can kind of see where you're at as well. Like just the act of putting it out there, I think is a really big deal.
Yeah, for sure.
So Ryan, like COVID has changed a lot of businesses. Like it's really affected businesses. It's also really affected the real estate industry. Like how has that affected your industry and how have you pivoted or become proactive because of that?
I'm fortunate in that a couple years before COVID, I saw that real estate was becoming more and more digital, but more and more sold through video.
Hmm.
Okay. And so I didn't want to be the person who said, like, well, the internet's not going to change anything in 1994. And then where's that guy? Right. So we quickly created a YouTube channel and I built a media team to do property tours, virtual tours, and vlogs for myself and then all of my agents years
Hmm.
ago. And we quickly built a pretty big following from it. And then COVID happens. Okay. Everyone else tries to pivot. We got to get videos. We got to do this. We can't show. What are we going to do? And we're sitting there saying, oh, wow, good thing we got all this content and all these videos. We're pretty good, right? We're ready to go. We have an entire team for it. And it's only made us stronger. So COVID in the real estate market certainly made things in New York difficult, but our clients are global. Like
Hmm.
the biggest deals we're doing now aren't even in New York, right? They're in Florida. In New York, we're selling deals because you can get incredible discounts. The rest of the country and internationally, you can buy, whatever you want.
Yeah.
There's an amazing flight to quality for residential real estate right now. That is great for any real estate agents anywhere in the world. Like they're just having, if they didn't have the best year of their life last year, they're going to have the best year of their life this year. But I started my firm in September in New York as a total lunatic because I was the only one starting a residential real estate brokerage in the middle of the pandemic in New York. So I dressed up like a superhero and I ran around the city, hung outside a helicopter and was like, hey, I'm here to save you. And we've been creating content, ever since. It's been really, really beneficial. It's been amazing to get business because we really are the option now. Like
Hmm.
you're going to hire a traditional brokerage, you're going to hire us.
It's interesting too, because I've heard you talk about YouTube in another light as well. Like, TV has been a very big part of your life and being in the media has been a big part of your life. But you've also mentioned that with YouTube, it's the speed of getting it out there as well. Like if you film a TV show, you may have to wait 6 months to a year to come out.
Right,
Like YouTube, it can be out very quickly.
Yeah, we are still filming now. Million Dollar Listing Season 9. Okay. Which we started filming in the middle of 2019.
Hmm.
Okay. We're going to end up filming that season for 2 years.
Wow.
Insane. Like a regular TV show films an entire season in 2 to 3 months.
Hmm.
But due to how long deals take to close, and then COVID happened, and we got shut down in February of last year, and then we started back up in August, and then we got shut down again, and then we just picked back up. Like it's a whole thing. Like it's deals that I did on that show that would have been great to air in the middle of 2020 now are old news.
Hmm.
They'll still be entertaining to watch. It's gonna be wild to watch actually because it's like a pre-COVID world, and then all of a sudden it'll cut to black. But YouTube, we're putting a townhouse on the market for $19 million on the Upper East Side right now. Actually, my team is putting together right now. We made the video a couple days ago. That'll go live on YouTube tomorrow. No pause. Like we literally move as fast as we can, and we're still not fast enough. And with that YouTube audience, we can target people. People can screenshot it. People can share it on their phones. The amount of people that can touch our content on YouTube and Instagram is far greater than what people can do with a screen that's hung up on their wall.
Hmm.
And that's what makes it so beneficial to us.
It's interesting you mentioned that too, because like I know one of my favorite like home building or real estate type shows. It's called Grand Designs. It's a UK show, but like they film a lot of these things over like the process of like 3 years. Cause like, oh, here we are in month 6, month whatever. And I don't think people take that into consideration of like what actually goes into this stuff. It's like a really big deal.
That's a
Well,
shit ton of time.
we got some really great listener questions for you, Ryan, because I know we are running a little low on time, and I do want to make sure we respect your time.
Let's do it.
But John Wilcher, who is a realtor in Sarasota, he actually does your online program, and he wanted to ask you about going from good to great, meaning how do you keep on going when things are going so well, but you want to keep that fire going higher than it currently is?
You get comfortable with being uncomfortable, right? Like I have always, everything new that I've done has always been from saying yes to something that I was completely unsure of, right? So like he is in our online sales course. Like I didn't know if I could make an online training program or any kind of training program. Like who's going to listen to me? Yeah, I sell real estate, but like there's professional coaches out there. You really want to listen to me? But then I saw what everyone else was putting out there. I was like, you know what? I think we can actually do this better and be way more helpful because I actually do this. And we put it out there and we're like, what's going to happen? And in a year, we're over 6,000 members in 108 countries. And it's like, whoa. So growing, right? From a place that we were completely uncomfortable with. Same thing with the books. Like my first book, it's like, dude, no one's going to buy a book for me. Like, why would I do this? But the book and the course also both turn back and create deals, right? YouTube, tons of work, tons of time. You can do it on your own, just with your phone, film yourself. Like Casey Neistat, just hold a freaking camera, right? Everyone's like, oh, I got a crew. I need a crew. No, you don't need no crew. Just go do it and stop complaining. And everything is turned into other deals. Everything is turned into other clients because the number one job for any salesperson is to generate leads. I don't care what you say. Your only job, meet new people, prospect, think about the future. That's the goal. That's it. Every day. Anything else is just work. Okay?
Yeah.
Your job is to generate business. And so, I've always just pushed myself in being more uncomfortable. Like we went into Brooklyn, right? Brooklyn seems close to anyone who's not in New York. It's like over the bridge, but it's 10 miles. It's like 10,000 miles away. Given how compact Manhattan is, like you have brokers in New York City, like they don't leave Tribeca. Like why would you need to, right? There's billions of dollars worth of real estate to sell on 4 blocks in Tribeca. Why would you ever need to go to Brooklyn? It's a totally different market, but we had an opportunity to go there. So I said, okay, sure, let's go. Open up an office, figured it out, right? Like Miami, we sold a $33 million listing in Miami in December. I don't do business in Miami, but I had a client who said, do you do Florida? And I said, fuck yes, I do. Right? Let's figure it out. Let's go, right? Because it's about trust. It's about confidence. Get comfortable with being uncomfortable. Hire people. Get nervous. You know, the best way to grow, build a team that you don't have to do with and have them force you to be better. Have them force you to go and generate more leads so that you can feed them so they're hungry. Like that's a big thing that my team did for me. I was at 65 people at one time, and we just did so much business because I was so stressed out most of the time. I'm like, man, these guys got to have listings. They got to work, and they're going to do their own business. And then we just, by default, you do more business. It's just how it works.
Absolutely. Well, we have Dr. Bobby Conneru is a doctor out in Iowa, and he's actually been working on the front lines in COVID and helping a lot of people.
Nice, Dr.
And he wanted to know, because you're always dressed really well, how important is it to look right? And I guess how do we cultivate that, in our business lives?
How important is it to look right?
To look right in your business life.
Yeah. There's 2 levels of thought here. And I think that I like to combine them, meaning that if you want to be successful, you need to present an image of success. Now, that doesn't mean you dress like Kanye, because Kanye has $1 billion and you don't.
That's true.
So, get over it. All right. Don't dress you want to dress as an image of success, and you want to dress in a way that is respectful to the people that you are hopeful will make your life better. So if you're those are your clients, right? Those are your patients. want to dress well for your patients. And you also want to be comfortable for them so that they're not stressed out. You're not going to show up in a tuxedo every day. Like that's really, really nice, but that will stress people out because it's going to put them on edge.
Mm-hmm.
You need to wear clothes that are ironed, that are cleaned, that fit well. And you have to have what I like to call your confidence costume, which is that kind of power outfit that you have. It's either that suit or those pants, whatever the outfit is that you just know, when I wear this, people look. When I wear this, I feel good. I look in the mirror and there's no one that can stop me when I wear this outfit. And you can say that's materialistic or no, just be authentic, but you are being authentic. You're being authentically you on your absolute best day. And that's totally okay.
Mm-hmm.
Own it, right? Just own it, own it, own it. The appearance is important. Unfortunately, your first impression is your last impression if you're not careful.
Absolutely. Well, once again, the book is Big Money Energy. Our guest today is the author, Ryan Serhant. Ryan, where can we find the book? Where can we find out more about you, man?
Find the book anywhere books are sold or audiobooks or ebooks. You can go to bigmoneyenergy.com, and I'm available everywhere at Ryan Serhant. And thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely, Ryan. Thank you so much for being on the show today.